Hey there guys, welcome back to more Stanley Parable. So when I started up the game, I was going to go and record some more endings that I haven't gotten yet, but I noticed that I've unlocked the epilogue here in the menu. I'm not sure how you get that, so I looked it up, and apparently there's quite a few steps you're supposed to go through to get it, and I sort of did it. So from what I've read, in order to get the epilogue setting, and this is unique to the Ultra Deluxe, so to get it, you have to do the new content ending for the game. So I did both of those. You're supposed to get all the collectibles and do the collectibles endings, which I already did. And every time you start up the game like 4 or 5 times, you get like a unique boot up, and you're supposed to interact with it 4 and 5 times. And after I interacted it with the 5th time just now, I unlocked the epilogue. So yeah, that's gonna be really interesting, and I want to see what it's all about. So let's start with that. Epilogue. Many years later. Oh, I'm back here in the desert. Never thought I'd ever come back here. It's very lonely. Narrator? Yeah, well, there's a chair out of nowhere, and there's some wood. Not sure where I got the wood. It looks very bare. What's it called when there's like nothing around? Tundra? Is that the word? Tundra? There's a fire. I got some rocks and sticks out of... Well, there's rocks here, but there's no sticks. Okay, now we're in some sort of sandstorm. There's more chairs around. Not sure how that came about. But I'm just keep trudging on, see where it takes me. Go where the wind takes me. Oh, I reached the memory zone. What is going on here? There's some sort of generator looking thing powering something inside the memory zone. You know, I like the fact that this whole game was made in Unity, but they still try to make it look like Gmod, I guess, with the textures and such. Sorry about that, I got a call, so I had to pause the game real quick. Alright, so we got a random cave here with some... What is this? Cookie9's blog. Review, The Stanley Parable 2. Alright, it's gonna be a long read. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, The Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fanbase. Alright. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get uninspired side quests collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines give you nothing. I must say though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve from. Is that it? What's this? Cat dog born. Scientists confirm hybrid species. What is this doing here? This has nothing to do with the game. Unless there's like some subtext. No? Mammal times. Okay, well, we got some sort of blog review of Stanley Parable 2 and cat dog existing in his world now. Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs, no more sequels. Get on the green. And here's a bunch of name buttons.
Jim.
Narrator?
Jim.
Man, I wonder where he is. It's kind of haunting not having him around. I mentioned before that I feel lonely without the narrator.
Jim.
Is that a... Oh, it's a fig. It's a bunch of them. Should I go down there? Oh wait, the generator goes all the way down there. I noticed the wire. Okay, let me press all the jump buttons first, because my OCD wants me to press all the buttons.
Jim. Stanley. Jim.
Huh?
Stanley. Jim. Stanley.
Why is that one different from the rest? Interesting. That is actually very, very creepy. Now I'm wondering that one specific button has any significance. What the? Oh, okay, it goes down here. The two doors? Hello again. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise. What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change a number in the game's title screen. We really need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead. Try combining some random words together and make a new title for our game. The Stanley Parable 3. Infinite birthday parties. The Stanley Parable 3 Infinite Birthday Party. It's absurd. I love it. Every time we restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work, so no need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we forward with this plan? I like it. But I want you to have the say as well. You know what? That sounds kind of fun. Let's do it. Good. Then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? So you've put faith in my idea. I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Well, for me right now, it is 10:16 a.m. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. Oh my god, they did it. Those bastards. Hi guys, welcome to the Stanley Parable 3 Infinite Birthday Party. Is that it? Is that the epilogue? Is that how the game actually ends, like its actual ending? Alright, now that I'm done with the epilogue, I'm gonna go back to the main game and I'm gonna go try to get every other ending I missed out on. Not all of them, just as much as I can find out. And yeah, let's go cut to that.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Wait a second. New content. It's open again. What happens if you do with the bucket?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I was gonna end the video, but I just want to see where it goes with the bucket.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Already saw all that, so I'm gonna take that out of the video.
Wait, Stanley, I've just now realized. That bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel. How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all.
Okay, new dialogue cue. I like how you noticed I have the bucket.
Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel?
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that at all.
You did it.
You're seeing things all out of order.
Huh,
All right.
still 0.
All right, let's see. It's The jump circle?
Alright, so far, so good. It's all normal.
The infinite hole? The giant door? Did you see them already?
Yeah.
Stanley, none of them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game?
Well, not necessarily.
Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly. Yes, you carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable! Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you, clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win.
Man, he's really soaking it in. And I was just missing you.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps... the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Thank you.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Input received. Restart.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so got it. Apparently, if you go around and restart once and go to like a very specific computer, like I just did, it will do this awaiting input thing up until it goes to Stanley's computer. Welcome Stanley to heaven. Press all the buttons. Oh, they turn back on. Okay, well then, what do I do here? Is this it?
stepping in.
Oh, there we go. Something different. Another portal. You are now leaving. "754. Escape pod bay, floor 760. Escape pod. Escape pod, launch bay, escape. Just making sure I'm actually moving in this darkness. Oh. Oh, this is the bucket ending. I see now. So if I went without the bucket, then I just leave by myself. But in this ending, I'm letting the bucket go. Escape without me. What a nice ending.
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Alright. Going to the mind control facility.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
And back up.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Oh, I can't go back down.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Hey man, it's not that deep. Let's go back down then.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
How about go back up?
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Just want to take another look at it. Just for fun.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
The Stanley Parable, please hold. Okay, holding. So guys, what do you think about this ending? So far, this stuff is pretty unique.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Okay, take your time. Viewers, this is gonna take a while. Okay, taking a little more longer to process it than I thought it was. There you go.
Right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
As you should. Let's keep going. To the mind control facility.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
You know what? Maybe, just maybe, the boss's office is not that bad. Any more dialogue? Or should I just continue on?
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises? To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal. This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh good, we're here.
What is this place?
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Press conference? I did not agree to this. World peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Whew, man, I'm getting nervous. Crowd surfing? No? Okay, that's fine.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Okay, it was nice knowing you, Bucket and narrator.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending, but it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
All right, and that was the bottom of the hole ending. All right, I think that is everything I could do right now. I don't know if there's any other endings I missed. I might have missed a couple hundred other endings, possibly. But yeah, that's going to be it for the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I am now done with this game. And yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this little mini-series. Didn't really take long to finish it. Honestly, I thought it would take a lot more longer than that for me to, reach the epilogue, like the real ending, I guess. And yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoy watching, and I will play another game in another video. See you then. Bye.